What's going on, guys? It's your host, me. I'm Sam. Welcome to the Steak and Antler Show. Today, I just got back from the ridiculously difficult Atlantic, catching some intense fish. Took me about 20 minutes to wrangle them in. Got my trusty bucket here. Let's take a look at the fish. We're cooking salmon tonight, guys. Get ready for a fantastic video. It's gonna be a wild ride. Also, PSA, don't mix Nutella and salmon together, because then you'll get salmonella. So, like I said earlier, we're gonna be having salmon. We've already proportioned our salmon, we cut it up earlier. So we're just gonna get that ready to go. But first, we have 2 cups of water over there on the stove boiling. And so we're gonna go put 1 cup of brown rice in there and get that started, just because the salmon cooks really quick. Fish of any kind cooks really fast. And so we're gonna put this in there and then get that started. And remember, once you put it on high heat, you're gonna crank the burner back down, basically to a low simmer for brown rice. You're gonna put the lid on, and for the next 20 minutes, prepare everything else. Step 1 is gonna be wash your hands. As always, no one likes any disgusting stuff in their food. So my hand's already clean, we're about to hop into this. First ingredient we're gonna use is always garlic. Just do like a kind of like a rough little cut. We have 2 fillets of salmon. They're about 3 ounces a piece. So we're gonna set those on the cutting board. And the first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna use Tony Chachere's Creole seasoning. We're gonna use that, and we're just gonna give it a light dusting, like, you know, like what you want on Christmas morning whenever you wake up to go get presents. And then just roll the salmon so you can get seasoning on every side of the fish. Next, what we're gonna do, fresh ground black pepper. And I only like to put the pepper on one side of the salmon. So we're gonna cook bottom first on the pan. Next is gonna be our trusty Himalayan salt. We're almost out of it. We're still not gonna use very much because of the Creole seasoning that we used earlier. That has quite a bit of salt in it already. So we're just gonna do a little dusting on top. So to begin prepping your salmon, you're gonna wanna put your pan on medium heat. We're gonna cook it slow, and then at the very end, we're gonna make it really crispy. So you're gonna put your pan, our dial goes to 10, and so we're gonna put it on 5. There's 5. And now we're just gonna wait for that to heat up. Our salmon is seasoned, ready to go. So fishing is one of my all-time favorite hobbies, and yes, I know, I didn't actually catch the salmon. Some of you may have thought I caught the salmon. I didn't. But actually, I'm gonna include a picture of the biggest thing I ever caught here. So our pan is now hot. A little tip for you guys. Make sure your pan is really hot before you put the extra virgin olive oil on the pan. Just to make sure that the oil gets really good and hot really quick. But you don't wanna put the oil on whenever it's too cold, otherwise it can actually make your pan stick. So our pan is ready to go. We're gonna take our salmon, our garlic, and our extra virgin olive oil and put that on the stove. You can use however much olive oil you want. I just try to coat the bottom of the pan just so we can have a nice non-stick surface. And then we will scrape in the garlic. And a tip to know if your oil is hot enough, your garlic will sizzle as soon as it hits the pan. That's how you know your oil is hot enough. So we're gonna let that garlic toast just for a minute. And as soon as it starts to turn like a nice golden brown, we're gonna throw on the salmon. So as you can see, our garlic has started to brown. It's starting to toast in the oil. And so now we're gonna add in the salmon. That was hot. Here comes fillet number 2. There are lots of different ways to cook salmon out there. Everybody swears by a different, they swear by one thing that works. So what I like to do personally is I will let the salmon cook about 2/3 of the way up. So right now it's a bright orange. It'll turn a bright pink once it's like cooked. And so once it gets about 2/3 of the way up the slice of the fish, we're gonna flip it over and then we'll cook the other side. I've also put little itty bitty perforations, if you will, throughout the salmon. And that's just to help, it's just gonna help it cook faster. Our rice is nice and fluffy. As you can see, ooh, it like doesn't even need its own floaties for the pool. It's just like hanging out, you know? I need my own floaties. And then just to finish off our dish, gonna use the Sam's mixed veggies again. We're gonna toss them in the microwave for about 5 minutes and they'll be good to go. Our salmon's cooking, our rice is cooking, and now our veggies are gonna go in the microwave. Oh, let me do that again for you. Oh, turn that into a rap beat. 5 minutes in heaven, or getting exposed to crow waves, you know? That was so done. So as you can see on the salmon, it's cooked about 2/3 of the way up. And so now it's gonna be time to flip. So we're just gonna take a fork, flip it over in the pan. Look how nice and crispy that is. So that's gonna cook just for another 2 minutes, maybe max. And we're gonna get that ready to finish off. So the last thing I like to do is just to finish off the salmon with a little bit of butter. You don't have to melt all of it if you don't really want to. But the salmon's just about done. And so I'm gonna take this little piece of butter, toss it in there, and then it'll just make it a little extra buttery. So our rice basically looks like it's ready. Just gonna give it a little taste test. Do that every time. Absolutely perfect. Wow. It's like I'm a genius with cooking rice. It's just water and rice. So now our salmon is done. Our salmon is nice and crispy on both sides. So how you can tell the salmon is done, salmon will get really, really crispy. It'll turn like a nice brown color. And so what you're wanting is just a little bit, not too much. These are just little garlic pieces. Salmon's just gonna be really nice and flaky, really nice and warm. We're gonna bring that back over here, set that to the side. Now it's time for my favorite part, the plating. So we're gonna set these plates down. So many things going on at once. Look at that time. My timing is impeccable. Future employers, I'm always on time. So once again, we've got about a cup of rice in here. So we're gonna do, I'm making 2 servings. So we're gonna have half a cup of rice per plate. Rice is done. You just finish off the rice with just a little bit of salt, a little bit of pepper. You're gonna wanna use the same seasoning that you use for your fish, that you use for everything else. So whenever I get the veggies out here in just a second, we're gonna put Creole seasoning on the veggies, and then we're just gonna put a little bit of the Creole seasoning and then salt and pepper on the rice. Oh, hot, hot. Oh, it's like freaking opposite Santa Wonderland. I'm so bad. We've strained our veggies. Now it's time to put them on the plate. And the final, most important piece of the entire plating, the salmon. Set that on there. Perfect. Put the dishes in the sink. Remember, do your dishes. Turn off the stove. don't burn your house down. There you have it, guys. Fresh caught salmon from Sam's, or from my house, or just from Sam's. Fresh caught salmon from Sam's. I'm gonna eat this. If you like this video, or you just think I'm really strange, give this video a thumbs up. Comment down below what you want me to see me. If you liked this video, give it a thumbs up. Subscribe down below, and then let me know what you want to see me cook next. I would love to look through the comments and be able to pick something out. If I pick it, I'll pin it and I'll cook it for you. Have a good night, guys. Thanks for watching.